We are celebrating our 15th anniversary at MLB Network. I was 17 years old when it all started. And you know, the next 2 weeks, we're going to continue to count down the top 15 moments that we covered during our history. And it all culminates with MLB Network's 15th anniversary retrospective show, hosted by myself, Sean Casey, and Harold Reynolds. It's airing Monday, January 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. So many great memories. Now, we continue our countdown of MLB Network legendary moments presented by Budweiser by looking back at Bryce Harper's clutch, unforgettable NLCS Game 5 homer in 2022.
What 13 years says to me, Philly for life.
Now they bring in a guy like Bryce Harper, who is a generational type of player. I think this puts the Phillies over the edge right now, and they're without a doubt the team to beat in the East.
I'm very excited, being able to be part of this organization, be able to be part of something great for the next 13 years. I'm very excited.
It goes back to Bryce Harper signing with Philadelphia a few years ago, and his dreams now are coming true because of his performance.
We're seeing him right now at the very best he can be.
The epitome of a red light player.
Yep.
I mean, there's no question about it.
He has come big time when the Phillies needed it the most. And on the brightest stage, you know what he does? He bows his neck, he sticks out his chest, and he is carrying this team. This is a very dangerous team because, one, they believe they can beat anybody, and they have a group of guys, and you're looking at the ringleader right there in Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper has gone out there with a plan, taking the fight to the dog instead of waiting around.
There's always a crazy game, I think, when the Phillies play in the postseason. You know why? Because the Phillies' offense is relentless. And tomorrow is an all-on, we got to win game.
Bryce had never won a postseason series prior to this year. Not only did he reach the postseason, he's been the best hitter in the postseason. This is the deepest he's ever played. He's one win, and in this case, one swing perhaps, from the World Series. The 7th pitch, Harper hits one in the air, left center field, back it goes! Harper, the swing of his life! Bryce Harper has the Phillies on the verge of the World Series.
And this could be the defining moment for Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies if they win this.
And the Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series!
Before I walked up to the steps, I told K-Long, I said, let's give him something to remember tonight. This team, organization, is all for them.
Bryce Harper is on track to be a Hall of Famer, and this was his moment.
All right, fellas, hoist it in the air. Let's cheers to that incredible moment. 15 years at MLB Network and Budweiser. Cheers, fellas. That is a legendary moment. If you're a fan of Philly baseball, that was kind of the beginning of everyone standing for every single pitch in that ballpark at Citizens Bank. And now it's sort of changed the way we perceive great sports venues. To watch Citizens Bank bounce after he hit that home run, an unforgettable moment.
Honestly, I think it's changed the way we look at Philly fans.
Absolutely.
Honestly, because from this moment on, I have not heard negativity towards these players in the same light, right?
No.
We saw what happened
they're lovers
this
now.
year with Trey Turner.
Absolutely.
We saw what happened. Suddenly they clapped for him when he wasn't playing well. They cheered him on. That's the type of guy that Bryce Harper is and what he's brought to this city. He's completely changed the narrative, not just about this team, but about the fan base, about the city, about this organization. Everything that was going wrong the last few years is going right now.
Yeah, I love it. It couldn't have been a better signing. We talk about a guy that's a complete showman, but also has that, he brings his hard hat and his boots just to come to work. He has that Philly feel, and you're right, they embrace him. He's brought the city together, and they're going to be a formidable team to have to deal with for years to come because he is the type of player that's going to garner guys that wants to come play with him, and he brings the energy to that fan base, to that park, that makes it extremely difficult to beat them at home. And he's built for the big moments. He's been special.
The overlooked part in that pitch against Suarez, who's nasty, by the way, he was in the hole 1 ball 2 strikes. He fouls off 100 and then 98, just spoiling.
Lays off
pitches.
97 at the top.
Like crazy how great that at-bat was. And after the game, you talk about his love for the city of Philadelphia. Listen to what his incentive and motivation was to really end things there in the bottom of the 8th. Watch.
Just that moment. I mean, just being able to do it at home. I didn't want to get back on that flight to San Diego. I just didn't want to get on a 5.5-hour flight. I wanted to hang out at home and enjoy this at home with these fans, with this organization and this fan base.
See, he didn't want to fly 5.5 hours.
Who cares?
Nobody didn't want that.
That's a great teammate right there.
Well, he talks about the fans all the time. And I remember when he was out and he couldn't play, went through a surgery, he'd be in the broadcast booth with Tom McCarthy for regional broadcast. So you never see injured stars do that. He truly loves the fan base. Now, I will say on the flip side, if I was a fan of the San Diego Padres, and I'm so close to going to the World Series, how in the world is the nastiest left-handed closer who's in the bullpen and available, who's up and warming, not in this game to face Bryce Harper?
It's one of those things that you're going to look back on, or in that moment, you're kind of going, wait a minute. This is the guy we want in the game right now. And how is he? Why is he warming up? Why is he in the bullpen?
This is why we brought him over here for this moment, for this playoff moment when we have to face Bryce Harper and we need him to punch a guy out. That's why you brought him over. So to see him not in the game, Anthony, you're absolutely right.
And Philly fans know, because in the World Series later that same season, Alvarado got absolutely torched by Alvarez. And honestly, I was wondering why they brought Alvarado in that situation. So it goes all different directions.
It does go both ways.